What does it feel like to live with dementia? The experience of living with dementia is often a challenging one. The more people's emotions and perspectives are understood, the better they can be supported. This film introduces 4 people who are able to share their insights on living with advancing dementia. Insights that were filmed over time and which were not always easily communicated.
I wake up and I feel afraid to get out. What am I going to face today? What's going to go wrong?
I couldn't go outside and go to a shop or something. I died. Well, I couldn't do it.
I used to do it all the time. It seems to get a bit harder and harder every year.
Well, you don't feel as if you're in the world. At least I didn't. I didn't feel as if I was part of the world.
For people with dementia, as with any individuals, empathy and support can help to retain their sense of identity, as well as enhance their well-being and quality of life.
If I could say one thing to somebody who's got dementia or a carer, it would be probably hang on in there, because they really do need you and they have feelings and totally understand what you're saying. And one thing, if I walk into the room and Mum can't see me, she hears my voice within a split second. If I say hello to somebody, she knows that I'm there, and it means so much to them. Hello.
Decision-making is an integral part of being a human. We're all learning this skill ever since we are little kids, deciding whether to choose chocolate or vegetables, play Xbox or study. As we grow older, the decisions that we make become more complicated. As you can see, we're surrounded by an environment that can have a huge influence on how we're making our decisions. And this environment in no way is helping us to make good decisions in our life. Number 1, decisions must go in line with your goals. Number 2, small decisions make a huge impact. Number 3, take yourself out of the situation. If you want to manage your time better, have more structure in your life, and achieve your goals,
imagine if you could take your brain and then turn it inside out. We're going to take a look at problem solving in a very different way. One that can bring tremendous benefit to your life. The answer to every problem is hiding in plain sight. Dr. Dunker's assessment of how our cognitive brain solves problems hasn't really changed at all. Most people are so consumed with how to attach the candle to the wall using tacks, while the real answer is right in front of them. It's locked away in our brain and positioned simply as a container for the pins. Now, Dr. Dunker called this functional fixedness. I'm going to be revealing to you 3 core psychological principles that magicians have been using for more than 5,000 years. Misconception, assumptions, and the third word is expectations. The answer we expect to find often limits us and does not allow us to see what's really going on.
Waking up at 5 a.m. sounds completely unappealing. Most of us would rather spend more time in bed in the mornings and not force ourselves to wake up earlier than we have to. But what if I told you waking up at 5 a.m. was the key to success? How do you win the morning, you ask? The first concept is the victory hour. The first pocket, from 5 to 5:20, is all about moving. Pocket 2, 5:20 to 5:40, reflect. And the last pocket, from 5:40 to 6 a.m., the last 20 minutes of the victory hour focuses on learning. The concept we look at is habit protocol. Concept is the 4 focuses. Focuses on 10 tactics for lifelong genius. The first tactic is creating a tight bubble of focus. 2. The 90-90-1 rule. 3. The 60-10 method. Number 4. The daily 5. Number 5. The second wind workout. Number 6. 2 massages. Number 7. Traffic University. Number 8. The Dream Team. Number 9. Weekly Design System. And number 10. Daily Learning. Remember, take excellent care of the front end of your day, and the rest of the day will pretty much take care of itself. Own your morning. Elevate your life.
Hi, I'm Jamie Ward, Professor of Cognitive Neuroscience at the University of Sussex. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the strange phenomenon of synesthesia. People with synesthesia experience the ordinary world in quite extraordinary ways. Some people, as they're listening to my speech now, every word might have its own distinct colour. For other people, my words might have taste. And for others, listening to music isn't just an auditory experience. It's a kaleidoscopic world of vision and movement and flashes of light. Synesthesia has a number of qualities. First of all, synesthetic experiences are triggered by something. So they might be triggered by music or language or other things, so they don't just occur spontaneously. They're also very involuntary. So synesthetes can't choose to turn them on and they can't choose to turn them off. They just appear effortlessly. They also have strong perceptual qualities, so it's like seeing or hearing or feeling things. So in a way, they're like illusory sensory experiences. One of the most common examples of synesthesia is having colours for letters and numbers. This is called grapheme colour synesthesia. For other people, the letter A might be red or the letter O might be white, and every synesthete has their own particular palette of colours. But if you put enough synesthetes together, they will start to agree on what colour things are. And we know that this is something to do with the shape of the letters. Similar shaped letters tend to have similar colours. For some synesthetes, music is a visual experience, not just made up of colours, but also movement and shape and three-dimensional landscapes. So for instance, a series of notes on a piano might be like an ascending staircase, from low pitch up to high pitch. Perhaps a violin note is a long, sustained shape. Perhaps a drum beat is small and spherical, for instance. Each of these notes would change dynamically over time, so a synesthete might experience, for instance, several minutes of music as like a landscape of visual experience, which they can remember and help them to perform that particular musical piece. So what causes synesthesia? Although synesthesia runs in families, the particular associations don't. So if a mother thinks that the letter A is red, her daughter might think that the letter A is green. We believe that the genetic differences create differences in the wiring of the brain. But also there are more widespread differences in the brains of synesthetes, not just in those regions involved in synesthesia itself. These patterns of differences resemble other kinds of conditions, such as autism. Synesthesia seems to emerge from early in life. If you ask a synesthete if they can remember ever not having synesthesia, they won't be able to do so. And one idea is that everybody might have been born a synesthete. Studying synesthesia has enabled us to really understand that sensory experiences are driven by the brain. So although our eyes and our ears constrain what we perceive, it's our brain that ultimately creates our own sense of reality.
Think back to a really vivid memory. Got it? Okay, now try to remember what you had for lunch 3 weeks ago. That second memory probably isn't as strong. But why not? Why do we remember some things and not others? And why do memories eventually fade? Neurons throughout the brain communicate at dedicated sites called synapses using specialized neurotransmitters. If two neurons communicate repeatedly, a remarkable thing happens. The efficiency of communication between them increases. This process, called long-term potentiation, is considered to be a mechanism by which memories are stored long-term. As we get older, synapses begin to falter and weaken, affecting how easily we can retrieve memories. Scientists have several theories about what's behind this deterioration. From actual brain shrinkage, the hippocampus loses 5% of its neurons every decade, for a total loss of 20% by the time you're 80 years old. These changes seem to affect how people retrieve stored information. Memories are encoded most strongly when we're paying attention, when we're deeply engaged, and when information is meaningful to us. Mental and physical health problems, which tend to increase as we age, interfere with our ability to pay attention and thus act as memory thieves. Another leading cause of memory problems is chronic stress. Our bodies are on hyper alert. This response has evolved from the physiological mechanism designed to make sure we can survive any crisis. Depression is another culprit. People who are depressed are 40% more likely to develop memory problems. Low levels of serotonin, a neurotransmitter connected to arousal, may make depressed individuals less attentive to new information. Dwelling on sad events in the past, another symptom of depression, makes it difficult to pay attention to the present, affecting the ability to store short-term memories. Isolation, which is tied to depression, is another memory thief. Found that older people with high levels of social integration had a slower rate of memory decline over a 6-year period. But experts suspect that social interaction gives our brain a mental workout. We have to use our brain or risk losing it. There are several steps you can take to aid your brain in preserving your memories. Make sure you keep physically active. Increased blood flow to the brain is helpful. And eat well. Your brain needs all the right nutrients to keep functioning correctly. And finally, give your brain a workout. Exposing your brain to challenges like learning a new language is one of the best defenses for keeping your memories intact.